So what's up, guys? It's your boy Broadway Joel here again, and this video is a video that I recorded on 153rd and Broadway. So it's the same couple that I recorded from last time when I was on 153rd and Broadway, same day. I don't know if you guys remember, I said it was a real long video and that I had to chop it up and put only the interesting part. So this is the other part of it. This is actually the beginning. The other part was the second part. I wasn't able to go up to record last week due to my schedule and as well as the weather. It was like raining all week and I really couldn't go. So hopefully you guys enjoy it. Check it out.
So first, what's your name and where y'all from?
Neighborhood Christopher, Yonkers, New York.
RIB, Yonkers, New York.
All right. So the question I'm asking is, what does "Make America Great Again" mean to you?
Make America great again. This land is one of a kind. You understand what I'm saying? Great again. I don't know how great it was before, but I feel like going forward, we are moving in the right direction. Despite what we see on the news, even in front of our own two eyes, I believe we are moving in the right direction. I think our president, although he gets ridiculed and persecuted beyond imagination, has something in store for this great country of ours, and I'm behind him all the way.
How about you? Same way? So you guys are Trump supporters?
Absolutely. I wouldn't even necessarily say Trump supporters, but understanding the time that we're in and the period that we're going through right now in this phase of life, I'm behind them. I'm behind them because it's beyond him. It's beyond what we see with the naked eye. You understand? What's going on right now is something that most people can't even comprehend. You have to have a deeper understanding.
Well, the economy is at an all-time high, even when Obama was there, and crime in all major cities are on an all-time low. So make America great again. In what way? What was better back then that isn't so much now?
It's better to be in the present, look forward to the future, leave the past in the rear view. We're headed in the right direction. Look what you just gave me.
No, but he's saying make America great again. Like it's not great now. That's what he's saying. Well, at least that's what the phrase says. It says again.
Because
she wants to say something. She hasn't said nothing. She hasn't said nothing.
The reason why he says again is because there's been so many lying going on, and the reason why we like Trump is because he tells the truth. He's basically pulling the wool off of all the lies. That's why no one really likes him, because he's literally airing out everyone's dirty laundry.
Well, there's reports that he's actually not a billionaire. He says he's a billionaire. So isn't that a form of lying? He's been caught in a few lies as well.
look, he had enough to get the presidential seat. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. His buildings are all in New York City.
He's not getting paid.
His buildings are all over this country. Doesn't matter how many dollars. If everybody's broke, if he's broke, then we should be more comfortable being broke because he's broke. You understand? So I love that even more. I wasn't aware of that, but I am aware that him and what's his name right now? Kim Jong-un. They just signed that bill to stop the nuclear testing on the North Korean border. So they're screaming peace. Isn't that what the world wants?
It's interesting. When Obama was trying to meet with Kim Jong-un, he was getting criticized by a lot of people. And now he was trying to, he never got to. But then Trump met with him. He got a lot of applaud for that. So it was kind of like contradiction through the people.
It wasn't meant for Obama.
The time is appointed to the man, not the man to the time.
How about this? How do you guys feel about Obama then? Was he good? Was he bad? What did he do that you guys didn't like? What did he do that you guys like?
As far as I can't go into too much detail about what he did and didn't do because I don't know too many of the intricacies of what he did policy-wise and bills passed and things like that. But just from a social standpoint, I feel like he made a mockery of the presidency. You know, the hip hop,
mockery?
and the, you know, all the just his antics with trying to be cool but you know, I was in Chicago at the time during his tenure. I was there, so knowing his history coming from there and then being there and seeing what was going on there, schools shut down and things of that nature.
So much crime.
So it's like, yeah, he was the first black president. That was really the whole stick with him. But honestly, I see, look where we are now. You know, I do know he passed certain bills like the gay marriage thing and things of that nature. However, anybody lives their lifestyle is fine. But to glamorize it and to glamorize stuff that he was you know, Jay-Z and all these characters, these caricatures of, you know, what we deem as upstanding men and women. It was all about sports and entertainment with him. I feel like he wanted to be more of an entertainer than a president.
He took in a recession and he brought it back to one of the greatest. You want to get into the conversation?
I mean,
Well, speaking to the mic. Speaking to.
too big to fail. The banks, right? Too big to fail. Then you had General Motors. So those entities were too huge to you know, to go to the wayside. So you had to come up with money, even though it was taxpayer money. People, they weren't happy about that. But at the end of the day, you had banks. If we don't have no banking infrastructure,
The bailout was under Bush.
well, he came in after that. And he kind of did a lot of other stuff too. I know he bailed out the General Motors, stuff like that. That was, you know.
No, that was Bush. That was Bush.
Bush also. Okay. Well, I mean, I may got my facts crossed up, but
You can check it. We could Google.
no. What I do remember is that it also was like the junk buy your car for $5,000. I think he initiated that also. He initiated that. I'm pretty sure he did. But basically, you know, let's talk about the Tea Party, because when he got there was this entity called the Tea Party, and what did they want? They wanted to go back to 1955 when Leave the Beat was around. They wanted to be nice and clean and no civil rights, no marches. 68, 66, 67, 68. It was like, yo, fuck it, we tired of all this shit, man. We gonna start protesting. We want what we want.
That brings it interesting. What the question I asked them originally was, what does the phrase "Make America Great Again" mean to you? What does it mean to you?
It means absolutely nothing.
But what do you think he means when he says that?
I think he's
come a little more into the camera.
He's trying to rile up, you know, he's trying to rile up a white base. These people who feel this.
Disagree? You disagree?
Disagree. I don't think it's about race with Trump.
No?
I don't think it's about race with Trump. No, I don't think it's.
Yo, this guy literally just went in the street. Hold on. Oh man.
Look at what he said about immigrants. He's speaking on illegals. You see when those people hear immigrant and automatically think he's a racist. Illegal. I agree with him on that point. Illegals. Like I don't think it's about race, but when you have racist people who are taking in what they're taking in from what he's saying and the climate that we're in, they're pushing the race.
But don't you think, since he's the president of the United States, he should be careful with his words? When he says words like "they're murderers," "they're rapists," when he says words like,
What president ever said that? Why would you choose that vernacular to describe? Because first of all, you stately. You're a president. You're supposed to have a certain like decorum. You're supposed to have like vocabulary.
But he's
which
still a man.
Well, he's a white man. Let's make it plain. Let's make it plain
Take the
simple.
color away.
Now we pushing the racist agenda. See, when we say that, now we being the racist.
But you can't have
He's a man.
conversation in this country if it's not about race.
That's the problem now.
What's the problem? That we don't talk about race, or we do talk about race?
That we do talk about race.
But why do you think we talk about race? Why do you think race is an issue?
Because we're holding on. Everybody, not just us, even the white race. Everybody's holding on.
"Oh man, I gotta."
Horses have blinders on, and they look. The goal is the finish line. We need to be looking at the finish line and not looking at oh, I'm being held back because I'm black. I'm being held back because I'm Hispanic. I'm being held back because I'm a poor white. No. Look at the finish line. What is your
So
goal?
what do you want? What would you like to see happen in the next 20 years?
Next 20 as far as
As far
what?
as race relations concerned.
Race relations? Honestly,
So you
it
don't.
does.
Have you personally experienced racism, or have you or systematic racism? Sorry.
I was at a job less than a year ago. New company had took over. Southern Company. I worked in the hospital in the kitchen. Southern Company had came up in Westchester, Valhalla.
Okay.
Came up, took over the company. Now the whole kitchen staff was minority staff. These people came in red. You understand? No, for real. Red.
I got it.
They were overheard referring to some of the workers as monkeys. So I've been there.
They been calling us monkeys.
This is what I'm saying.
One day we were in Sears, and we literally experienced racism from the
forgot
person
about
the
that.
same complexion as us.
Exactly.
Thought we stole something that we paid for because he
And
walked
had to
out
pull
with
a
it.
receipt
Had
out.
to pull, but it was
That
literally.
the people of our so that's it's
That's a case. That's a case that could be described as implicit racial bias, which all suffer from some racial control. Now, this person who did that, I don't know the person, but he may feel as if he has some kind of authority, or they may have given him a position, and he felt he might have like the girl that called the.
Or it might have been an honest mistake too. Sometimes if like you put the hoodie on or whatever it was, he probably ain't see you pay, or it could have been an honest mistake. But I see your point.
Because like the female who called the cops on the young cats in Philadelphia.
Okay, Starbucks.
That wasn't from what I understand, from what I've been told from another person on the media, that wasn't her first incident. So she suffered from implicit racial bias on a very high scale. So we all suffer from it, but what we do is when we see something, or for example, if you see a black pilot, holy shit, black pilot, can he fly a plane? Can he fly? Then you say to yourself, well, of course he can fly the plane. He's qualified. He's more than qualified. He's here right now. All my worries are gone. So that's when that comes on, just think of try to address it. You know what I'm trying to say? Because at the end of the day, what we doing, all we doing is suppressing. Because this country can't be just one. Nobody can be by themselves. You got to do trade, because money knows no boundaries. That's number one. Trade knows no boundaries. If you got to make money over there, I'm gonna go make money over there, man. If money's coming from over there, and I got to get it, I'm going over there. So why would I can't afford to be racist in other words. I can't afford to be racist. I can't.
Because of money?
Because the whole lot of things. Culture, you know what I'm saying? All types of things. Education. I can learn from anybody. I don't care what color they is. White, black, blue, or brown.
But you made. I'm sorry to cut you off. You made a specific.
You made it emphasize that Trump was a that can't be forgotten.
Well, here's the thing. You have a white power structure in this country. We all know that. If we look at it from a grand scale, 97% of the DAs in this country are white. So what they gonna impose? What they gonna impose? A white type of situation. They're not going.
Black people do get longer sentences for similar crimes than white people, so that is true.
Well, here's another. Here's
There's
another thing.
No. I'm saying two people get, let's say, arrested for murder.
usually the black person that
Gets life, and maybe the white person gets 25 or
That's
30.
why we shouldn't be committing the crimes in the first.
No, of course, but no. Listen, no, but wait. No, but that hold on. People are gonna commit crime no matter what color, race, religion, creed, political party, no matter what. So people are gonna commit crime. That's an absolute fact. But if somebody is white and commits a robbery, and somebody's black and commits a robbery, and it's the same exact type robbery, they both use the gun, they both snatched a woman's purse, and one gets, let's say, a year in prison, the other one gets 15. Some foul play might be in there.
The scales are unbalanced at that point. Hold on, before you go with that, I just want to say this. There's two different types of people here. No matter Hispanic, black, white, Arab, Asian, whatever. There's only two different types of people. That's good, that's evil. You understand what I'm saying?
No,
That's
I
why
agree.
I spoke
I
on
agree.
the race relations the way I did. It's good and there's evil. More of my own people have wronged me than any white person has.
That has to do with proximity sometimes.
No, 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 no.
Do you live more around blacks or whites?
I live more around blacks. I went to school with mostly whites. You understand? Went to school with mostly whites. Through all my school tenure, there was mostly whites in my schools. You understand? More of my people have wronged me that look like me. Not even my people. Because everyone that's your people isn't your people.
What situation were they in when they wronged you? Were they in the affluent, or were they like in the, trying to make it, or whether I mean,
Same predicament I'm in.
All right. So
Equal playing ground, even playing field.
So in other words, they live in the
You
same neighborhood that you
understand?
live in. The same red zone, the same criminalized neighborhood, the same way where they get stopped and
But we
frisked at.
can't blame that product of my environment. We take on certain traits of our environment. Your environment shouldn't make you. You understand? I know killers. I know people doing life sentences. I know drug dealers. I know basketball players. I know teachers. I know doctors. You see what I'm saying? But I'm me.
My only rebuttal to that is, and this is recent, Khalif Browder. This is just one dynamic. Khalif Browder, incarcerated for 3 years.
Is that the young man who committed suicide?
Correct.
In solitary confinement. He spoke out. He said, I'm not taking a plea. You think that's the only one that now, this is just one aspect of the dynamic of the systematic racism that this country, there's no other way for this country to survive.
About him. Because
Well, the fact-
that's the guy that
wait,
Jay-Z
but
did the
wait,
movie.
but
Yeah.
wait,
No,
wait,
what I heard was
wait,
that
time out. That's after the fact.
No, yeah, it was
He was
after.
16 years old. That's after the fact.
What was he in jail for?
he was accused of stealing somebody's backpack,
Yeah, he did.
and the witness ended up saying like he wasn't sure, and he didn't show up. But
the witness
so
left
because he
the
couldn't
Mexico.
afford bail, he lasted I think 2 or 3 years in prison in Rikers Island.
He went through a lot.
He ain't get raped.
No. He got
was
jumped.
Like, he was handling his own. He was fighting CO. He's fighting now. What happened was too that they were saying the kids in there was like, yo, you should take that shit. Take that. Nah, I'm not taking that. Blah blah blah. So they didn't like that. And what other thing they didn't like about him too, but the fact that he was in there on some like, fuck, I'm not taking no plea. So everything he had to fight. If it wasn't for the inmates of his own kind, the COs of his own kind was beating the shit out of him for no motherfucking reason.
So why we mad at Trump?
I don't know how we got on this.
Wait. I'm gonna take it back.
Why we mad at Trump?
Well, first
So,
of all,
some people feel he uses his because when you're the president, not necessarily. I'm not even going race. I'm saying some people say he uses his power for wrong, and he doesn't know how to use his power because, again, like what I was saying earlier, sometimes words have power.
Absolutely.
So-
Always has
Absolutely.
power.
Life and death is in the tongue.
So, well, I'm saying if somebody from the street just says something, you go, oh, that guy's just an idiot, I'm not even going to say nothing.
Well, he
But
has
when
the
the president,
platform.
it's the person who's in charge of this country, whether you like him or not, says Mexicans are murderers and rapists. What else did he say?
I love that you said what you just said just now. Because he's the president, it's heard on a larger scale. It means a little more to people. Right?
Exactly.
Because people are idolizing.
It's not necessarily idolizing.
That's what it is. That's what it
It's
is.
when people are in charge of your country, you have to somewhat look to them for leadership because they are your leader, whether you like it or not.
Now, is he really, has any president ever truly, from where we come from, have they truly been our leader? Any president?
Yeah, because they have the right to say, hey, listen, we're going to go to war. They're our commander-in-chief.
The question you asked was, what have quote-unquote presidents, majority of them being white,
Really
what have
been
they
our
really done
leader?
for the black community?
Well,
So
in the
once you-
60s,
I asked that question.
in the 60s, with the civil rights movement, whether it was through pressure or not, a lot got done. Where restaurants couldn't be segregated, fountains and stuff like that
See, that's all.
We don't even
see,
agree with
that's
that.
all.
I think we wanted it should have stayed separated.
Blacks on this
It
side,
should
whites
stay-
on that
definitely.
one. You would have kept the Negro leagues and have the.
Definitely.
Look at us now, because now we're in a position where LeBron
Well,
James can make a decision and they burn his
like
jersey. You see how it works?
I'd rather eat in my own restaurant.
Why not do it with your own? Where you have the owner of Clippers calling them, referring to the players. I forget what he referred to as a niggas or something of that nature. Where you have Jerry Jones making the comments, we're not going to let the inmates run the prison. You understand?
So what's up, guys? It's your boy Broadway Joel here. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Answer the question I asked in the street in the comment section. Definitely like and subscribe. And if you guys want to follow me on Instagram, Broadway Joel, and follow me on Twitter, Broadway Joel with the number 2. Peace.
So why